So this is Virgin Queen setup. And I'll try to go over a few of the things about this setup. So 6-player game, and you are fighting over Europe, and there are political aims, religious aims, conquest aims that each person can pursue. It's almost like a sandbox type of game. You have your cards. Everybody has a card. The Ottomans have a card. The Protestants have a card. The Holy Roman Empire has a card. Each of you have a home card. On the card, it'll tell you the cost of everything that you need to perform in your ruler. Also, you have these set up. These are your key placements. Every time you take over a location, it's called a key, a major city. You take one of these off, it'll give you a bonus. It'll give you a VP or an extra card or something like that. First person to get all of their keys on the board, taking over keys, is an auto win. That rarely happens just because not a lot of battles occur in this game. Most players get a home card, 2 home cards. Protestants get 2 home cards. Holy Roman Empire gets 2 cards. These cards never leave your hand. You can only use 1 per round. But your other cards that you use in your hand, they're discarded after you use them for points. But in this game, your home card, it can never be taken away from you. So you always have that to play with. When you're setting the game up, they have them by country, and by country you set up with ships, forces. You'll have, these are keys, these are areas that the Ottoman Empire controls. You also have your leaders and your naval guys. The Spanish will have treasure that they can get. Also, pirates can get these during the turn. If the pirates don't get any of these turns, then the Spanish get all these treasures at home. And on the other side of them, they give victory points, or they give extra action points or stuff like that. So you want to pirate. If you're Spain, you want to get these home. If you're not Spain, you want to try to pirate those. So the game setup, you have all of your pieces out. And one thing too is, these are political markers. So if you have a political marker that's a solid color that is Catholic owned, if you flip it over, it's white, a white border, then that means that it is Protestant owned, Protestant influenced, sorry. So if you see up here in the Holy Roman Empire, they have one that is Catholic, but over here, these are Protestant influenced. Same country, but different religious personalities. So, also starting off, each player has a certain amount of character that they can marry off. So that's what these people are here. These kind of help you know in your first turn who can marry who. So Don Carlos is up for marriage. Philip II is up for marriage. Elizabeth de Valois is up, or whatever her name is, up for marriage, and so forth. Over here, we have our marriages and our victory point track. So this shows off the beginning who is where. Protestants start off with 2 points, and Spain has 17. So they're doing rather well. Here you have all of the marriages that can occur and their eligibility, meaning that Elizabeth starts off real young, and then every turn that she doesn't get married, she moves down the track until she can pass away or die. I then set up all the rest of the people who are going to get married in turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over here you have the diplomatic track. This is who can influence who in a minor country. So these are minor powers, meaning that these powers aren't active, but in game turn, you may be able to take control of Venice or Scotland's forces or Ireland's forces or the papacy if you have enough influence. And you can spend points to get modifiers, so when that event comes up, you can roll and try to influence that country. Such as in Venice right now, you have the Ottoman Empire. So if there was a card that says influence, roll diplomatic influence, the Ottoman Empire would have a +2 on their roll, as opposed to everybody else would have a 0. Okay. Protestants. The Protestant track starts at 18 for the big campaign game. And this goes back and forth depending on Catholic conversions or Protestant conversions. So if the Catholics get it all the way down to 9, the Catholics win. Spain wins. If you get this all the way up to here, to 50, it's an automatic win for the Protestants. These here show you who gets what points at the end of the game for that. So if it stays on this track here, Spain would get 6 points. The Protestants would get 1. Holy Roman Empire would get 5. Okay. If you're down here on this line, you would have the Spanish, because there's more Protestants. Spanish would get 1 victory point. England would get 3. Protestants would get 6, and Holy Roman Empire would get 5. Down here is your allied track. Who's at war and who's allied. So this tells you who's allied by. During the game, you can declare war and you can declare peace also. Okay. Over here is the really fun part. It's called the patronage chart. During the game, you are able to patronize one of these artists or one of these scientists. And at the end of the game, at the end of the turn, depending on how many CP you do, then you roll up here for your tables. And if they do well, then you may get a victory point, you may get some bonuses, and so forth. And then on turn 2, yeah, these guys will be available. Turn 3, 4, 5, so these guys keep coming up. So that's how that's all set up. So let me show you something over here real quick. Something you're not going to find in the book and was really frustrating. On this leaderboard here, it says you have 4 leaders that are beating in turn 2. If you look in the book, you can't find what leaders are coming up. If you look in the playbook, you will find it in the very back of the playbook, where those guys come from and how to set them up. So it's very frustrating to find out where these guys were and how to find them and in which turn they came on. So that is a super brief look on how to set up Virgin Queen. I hope some little tips helped you out, and you can always refer to the visuals to see how it goes.